Open world games are known as time sinks, and with good reason. They take hours and hours to complete. They draw you in with their fancy storytelling, lovable characters, and excellent gameplay. You're having a ton of fun, you're going on adventures, and all that's going on in the background is time's passing very quickly. You'll miss out on loved ones' birthdays, important meetings. Your life could go to shambles, all while playing such great games such as Skyrim, Witcher 3, and Grand Theft Auto 5. But there are other games in this genre that I don't feel like get their proper due, and I decided to make a list of them. So, in no particular order, let's begin. Days Gone, released on PC May 18th, 2021, and released on PlayStation in April 26, 2019. It was on PlayStation 4. It was one of the launch titles. It was published by PlayStation and developed by Bend Studios. So this game, basically, you play a character named Deacon. He's basically in the zombie apocalypse, trying to basically make it work with his biker buddy. And, well, one thing leads to another, and it's a zombie apocalypse. I'll let you guys fill in the rest. But the thing about this zombie apocalypse that I find very interesting is the horde mechanics. That's right, you fight a zombie horde. Well, not fight so much as you run in terror from a zombie horde. Just keep moving. Do not engage with a zombie horde. That's a bad idea. Scavenging is one of the main parts of this game that really adds a level of immersion to it, because you're looking for stuff to build up your bike so you can make more dangerous and crazier runs. And you can get better weapons as well and better items to use against the zombies. Eventually you'll be able to fight hordes, but that's a long, long way off. So my recommendation is to keep a good eye out for escape routes for when you're scavenging, because you never can tell when a pesky horde may show up. Well, outside of scavenging and surviving zombies, the gameplay here is kind of sparse. You don't really do much outside of that. Progression feels a little bit insignificant at times, but overall you are getting more powerful, more competent, much more capable, and much more tools in your toolkit to help you deal with the zombies and, well, other survivors who are less polite to you as you would like. So yeah, it's a nice zombie survival game. It also pits you in against various camps. So you have to keep the various camps happy by doing missions for them and collecting bounties. It's an interesting mechanic. It makes you feel like you're really just a third-party mercenary in a zombie apocalypse. Just trying to get by, man. You're just trying to get by. Now, this is for people who like zombie games. Well, they have some survival elements in it. So if you want a zombie game with some survival elements, this is probably for you. It's not like Project Zomboid, but it's got enough in it for me to say, yeah, you will feel it. I would recommend it for people who like games in that genre. Gothic was released on PC March 2001. Published by Ingleton Interactive and THQ and Execute Interactive. Finally developed by Piranha Bytes. It is a fantasy medieval setting. You play a prisoner who is banished to a penal colony that is covered in a magical barrier that is, well, indestructible. So you're gonna be there for a while. But you have to get a message from the king to a band of special wizards, and, well, let's just say hijinks ensue after that. And, well, before that, actually, and during that. It's quite an interesting ride, where progression is best part of the game. It's so good, in fact, that I'm loath to show you any parts of the game into the future, because I'm just going to show you the start of it. I'm just going to show you little bits from the beginning. That way, well, I won't spoil the fun you're going to have. It's very difficult, but fun game. You're not going to be playing as a mighty hero at the start. You're going to work your way up to be the mighty hero. I'll put it to you like that. It feels like a proper RPG as well. This is one of the few games on this list that feels like a proper RPG, a proper open world RPG. This one is one of the oldest and probably one of the greatest to be made. The negatives on this are pretty apparent. The clunky, chunky graphics did not age well, but there's a certain charm to it. There's a lot of fiddling that involves to getting this up and running right. So much fiddling, in fact, that I can barely show you anything from the game because it keeps crashing on me. I keep having problems. I think it's because of my drivers. It's so old, my drivers. Every time my driver updates, it basically just like, nope, you can't work with me, bro. But there is a remake for this one coming up over the horizon. I recommend that you would wait for that one if you don't want to tinker around. It should work much better on newer machinery. But if you don't mind tinkering around, then I would recommend this game. If you can get this running, it's probably one of the best old school games out there. This is for the old school gamers in the audience who don't mind to do a ton, and I mean a ton of troubleshooting to get operational and playable. Also, check out this sick burn.
Thank you. This letter must reach the leader of the Magicians of Fire.
You're wasting your time.
You may choose your own reward. They'll give you anything you ask for.
Very well. I'll take your letter. On one condition. Spare me the rest of his nonsense.
Shadow of Doubt came out of early access this year of 2024, September 26. It was published by Fireshine Games and developed by Coal Powered Games. So Shadow of Doubt is a different type of game on this list because it's not really you doing whatever you want in an open world. It's more about you solving crimes. You becoming a detective. You figuring out who did what, when did they do it, how did they do it, and why they did it. And you do this, well, you're not technically a member of the police force, so you can't just walk into a house. You're going to have to sneak in. Okay, let's put it another way. You're going to have to break in. So it kind of reminds me a bit of the Thief games. If you ever played one of those, you should give those a shot. They're pretty good as well. A little bit like those. And, without a doubt, it's probably one of the greater Sims I've ever played. Shadow of Doubt has a great deal of detail when it comes to what you do. Like, for instance, there's a hunger and thirst meter, like usual, but there's also a cleanliness meter. So if you rummage around trash or go through other places to find clues to your current case, you get a smelling debuff. And if you get a smelling debuff, people can detect you easier when you're in stealth mode. So if you want to hide and stealth better, well, you're going to have to take a shower and wash yourself off. Also, if you eat spoiled food, there's a chance you're going to be sick and woozy and have a lot of problems. The best way to get rid of it is to vomit. And by vomiting, you get yourself nice and dirty again, so you'll have to take another shower. Now, you're probably thinking, oh, that's good. I'm showered. I'm clean now. Well, there's another drawback. You're now wet, so that's going to cause you to be a little bit more slippery. So if you're chasing or being chased, you're going to slip up a little bit more than usual. It's a great sim. Very few can copy this level of detail. It's pretty much all procedurally generated. The entire city you start in is procedurally generated at the start. The problem I think it suffers from is there's no overall arching goal or storyline that you're doing for this game. It's more about just solving cases and getting yourself out of poverty by solving the cases. You get your social score up, and you get your social score up. You get more money. You get promoted. Yeah, stuff like that. to get nicer apartments and so on and so forth. You can also get nice little upgrades to your character via installments. You're in like sort of a cyberpunk dystopian future in this game, which adds a nice little variability to the gameplays because you're not just using regular detective stuff from a normal era of human history. You're using future tech, which is pretty cool. You also can't pick up guns. Yeah. Apparently they don't want you shooting people in this game for whatever reason. From what I've been told, it's something to do with they're not wanting you to kill somebody or be basically someone who has to be arrested yourself for causing a murder. That'd be crazy if you had to solve your own murders that you've been committing. Yeah, that'd be a little bit weird. So who is this for? This is for people who are into detective games and those who like a thief, plus anyone who is into sim games in general as well. It's a very good mix of all that. I would recommend it for people like that.
Make your choice. Now.
The Saboteur, originally released in December 2009. It was re-released on Steam and GOG and Epic Games and various other online gaming stores on March 2024. It was published by Electronic Arts. It was developed by Pandemic Studios. Now, what's interesting about this game is that it starts off black and white. Or should I say starts off in color, but then shifts to black and white once you get into more, let's just say bad guys from WW2 controlled areas. And once you start beating up those bad guys, the color starts to return to those areas. And you start to be able to move around more freely with less threats. This game feels a lot like Grand Theft Auto. And that's a good thing because Grand Theft Auto is a, good game. You're robbing, stealing, blowing things up. Because it's, you're fighting the bad guys from WW2. It's totally justified here. And I kind of like that. It's a lot of fun. It adds a lot of righteousness to all your actions. I love being overly righteous when I commit terrible acts. I'm messing around, of course. Also, another interesting wrinkle is that you get disguises that enable you to slip past guards and other places that are well secure, so you can't just walk right in. You carefully maneuver your way into and out of places. Also, you can get cool vehicles that you can drive around in. I enjoyed this game. It had a lot of fun. It had a lot of twists and turns to the plot, but there are some negatives. The biggest negative of this game is that the limits of an older technology can be seen in the visuals being a bit lackluster compared to current day technology. It is from 2009, of course. It's still pretty good, but if you're a person who enjoys great visuals, you might feel this game comes up a bit short, which is okay. It makes up for it in other ways. Who would I say this game is for? I would say this game is for fans of the Grand Theft Auto franchise, also people who generally like World War II and just want to have a nice World War II simulator. Out of all the games on this list, I feel like this one has the most mass market appeal. It can be enjoyed just by everybody. There's a very few people I would say would dislike this game. Overall, it's a fun experience for anybody who is into open world games in general.
Please, don't kill John Bucket. Please. Hey.
Why shouldn't I?
Because I know you.
Mad Max, the game. Released in September 1st, 2015. It was published by Warner Bros. Games and Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. It's developed by Avalanche Studios. It's a car combat, Arkham/Assassin's Creed style combat system, as well as other interesting gameplay elements, create a very fun and interesting trip into the Mad Max universe. I really had fun with this one, and it wasn't just because of the gameplay, it was because of the good story that fits well in the Mad Max universe. Special shout out to Chumbucket. He did a good job of being your sidekick and an interesting member of the cast in this game. It really adds a lot when you have a good voice actor, good character, and just an overall fun and interesting storyline. It all has to do with Mad Max, the titular Max, trying to get his car back, or better yet, build a new car from the pieces around the wasteland in the form of the scrap mechanic. Now, scrap can be found pretty much anywhere, but if you want to make big changes to your vehicle, you're going to need a lot of it. And scrap doesn't just go into your vehicle, it goes into Max himself. It gives him better damage with his fists, more shotgun rounds to use, and various other abilities that enhance the gameplay and makes it a much more engaging experience. One of the greatest follies in gaming nowadays is the fact that everyone's trying to copy each other or be something just like the other guys. But I feel like Mad Max is different enough for me to say, like, yeah, this is a unique experience that you will enjoy. But there is a few negatives. One of the big ones is it's a bit repetitive. Yeah. It's not too overly repetitive. It's just a little bit repetitive. There's not much to do outside of car combat and ground combat. So you're basically going to be doing that over and over again. But it is a good system and you will enjoy doing it over and over again. Another downside is this game didn't get that much in the way of DLC or after launch content. So any bugs or problems you find will probably never get patched or fixed. But hey, on the upside, it seems like a very solid game. It ran pretty well on my computer, even though it is a slightly older game. It's not as old as Gothic or Saboteur, but I'd still keep my eye out. So, who is this for? I would say this game is for the fans of the Mad Max and other post-apocalyptic universes. Also who love the fighting style of the Assassin's Creed / Arkham style of combat. And who enjoy driving games too. It adds a great deal of fun with the driving section. Driving gets better as time goes on. Now, you might struggle a little bit because the early game, you don't have that many options, you don't have that many abilities. But as the game goes on, you start to see the progress take form, and you start to have a little bit more fun as you gain more gadgets and tools, so enabling you to have a lot more flexibility in combat and vehicle sections of the game. Out of all the games on this list, I would highly recommend this game out of all of them. If you want more detailed look at Mad Max the game, then click on this link that's popping up right now on the screen. I'll see you there. Thanks for stopping by, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and any help would be appreciated. And one more thing, go in the comment section and leave any open world games that you like to play that are not well known there, and I'll take a look at them. Maybe even do a review. Maybe even spotlight them on my channel. We'll see. Take care.